Well, we are back in the win column, and what a debut for Andrew Painter. A little bit of a nail biter. Offense still a little sluggish. Defense was a little better tonight. Of course, the pitching was much better. A lot to cover. 3-2 Phillies victory. They climbed to 2-3 in the NL East, still in fifth place. The Nationals fall to 3-2. And the other guys, I think they're still playing right at this moment. So we'll get caught up when we do a round of bases about what's going on in the National League East. But the big story tonight, Andrew Painter debut. What a debut. I talked about this numerous times on the show or on different shows, on my show on Friday, on Sunday with Mike Lauro, when I do ones with Matty B. Just different things we've talked about. The one big thing is when we're told to be patient about prospects, and we've talked about the ability of what we could have had if we traded him or Aiden Miller or any of these guys away. We've talked about him a lot, and we've had opportunities to put some really good butts on the bench, but these guys were quote unquote untouchable. No, one outing isn't going to be enough for me to be make that as a true statement as it was, but what a start. Puts up a 1.69 ERA. Just does an amazing job. Very nasty. Looks very fluid up there. Very relaxed, considering his brain had it exploding. Listen, they're taking pictures of you and videos of you all day long. Social media had it posting all day long, just from the Phillies alone. Your parents are there. You got 30 some people there. Mom, your fiance. 22 years old. He was 23, and I think they said about 10 days or something like that. Just really gets you something to be excited about. Even if you're a little down on this team, you feel like they're running it back, or you're down on the offense, especially from the top three positions. I get it, and you shouldn't be. This shouldn't clear away what the last few days have been for the Phillies. But again, in 162 games, it's a small sample size. But let's see what happens in 10 games and 20 games and so on and so forth. So there some pluses. Saw I guess Schwarber kind of get off the schneid a little bit, get a nice home run, like deep home run. Garcia got his first as a Philly, first of the season. But the offense still needs a lot of work. It still needs to wake up, whatever you want to call it, warm up, whatever it is, the term you want to use. The offense was still there. It was not there enough, but maybe hopefully a victory like this will kind of be that catalyst they need. But like I said, the story's going to be on Andrew Painter, right? I mean, it is. You can't not be talking about Andrew Painter at this point. Just amazing. Like I mean, he was 5 1/3 of innings, 4 hits, only 4 hits allowed, 1 run. It was earned, a walk, and 8 Ks, 8 strikeouts. And like I said, he was very fluid with it. The way he looked very natural. It almost looked like you couldn't really tell the pitch as it was leaving the hand, as some pitchers will. You can tell if it's a curveball versus which was, by the way, was very nasty for him tonight. But it gives you something to feel good about, and hopefully a little juice for this team. I know me and Matty B have talked about a lot. I know Mike Lauro has also talked about a lot. But the youth injection on this team, I think, could be helpful. Painter Crawford had a decent game tonight. That bunt left a little bit to be desired, but at least he tried. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of guy I want to see. At one time, maybe at the top of the order in the not too distant future. If he keeps that up, I just work on putting that bunt down. Wouldn't mind seeing some other guys do that. Let's hit some of the comments here. Star Wars, what's going on, buddy? Painter pitched good. Yeah, I mean, it's very blunt and to the point. Painter was pretty nasty with his curveball. Offense was still anemic, but a win is a win. Yeah, we're not allowed to say that. We got an internal memo. We're not allowed to say a win is a win. But it was listen, a win is important to get off the schneid. Like I said, you got the home run from Garcia, you got the home run from Schwarber, kind of the start in the right direction. But the Bohm double plays, it scares you. Trey Turner it's still swinging for the fences. If they could just level out the bat and stop swinging up and swing level, and I kind of tweeted out earlier, like, it's kind of weird to say this, but I wish the Phillies offense would take some notes from the Nationals offense, they're not trying to nail it out of the park. Just put the ball in play. See what happens. Brandon Marsh, man. Everybody wanted Brandon Marsh out of town. And he's our best hitter right now, and he's just doing that. That's what he's doing. I wish everybody else could kind of get on board. I mean, it's still a little frustrating. The Painter story helps make it a little better. The win helps make it a little better, but we need to start to see this anemic offense, as Elephant puts, get a little shot in the arm. Painter pitched very good. I mean, he pitched very good. I mean, as starts go, listen, is he going to throw a no hitter? Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go deep in 9 innings? Whatever. Most likely not nowadays. Especially, you want to leave this guy on a high note. You want to wear him out and tear his arm down in one game. But this is the kind of game that a career can build off of. He has some confidence now. Has a feel for the juice of the game. Like that's a huge thing. It doesn't mean he can't get a little riled up. We saw Mick Gable come up here, look really good, and then kind of fell apart. So, I mean, these are things that they can build off, but the team can get rejuvenated by. So hopefully we continue to see that with Painter, with with the team building off of that. What will Rob say? What does it matter? Thank the Lord above the Phillies head on that lead had that lead on for Andrew. That was scary. What a game for a young man. Yeah, I mean, Brandon Marsh making a big play. I thought that was a hit. I really thought there's no way he's getting it. It was either bouncing off the wall or whatever. He wasn't going to get to it. I that was a nice defensive play at the end of the game. Boehm had a good defensive play, getting that ball sliding right at the wall there to get that early out. So defense was much more solid for the most part, except when they lost the ball in the lights. That was a kind of a fluky, goofy play. I mean, even Duran was kind of pitching. I knew we were going to kind of get on Duran, like he didn't go 1, 2, 3. That kind of bloop. Nobody could get to that. Duran couldn't get to it. Stott couldn't get to it. Just kind of gave him a little life more than made it a little bit more nerve wracking than it should. But overall, I like what I saw. Yeah, Alfred. Yeah, the offense is still asleep. I mean, hopefully this is that building block that wakes him up. Like I said, give the old shot in the arm, all that stuff. I keep saying it's juiced up, but I'm afraid with this team, for all the guys who've gotten in trouble for PEDs lately, maybe I should choose my words a little differently. But yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping there's it wakes up something inside these guys offensively. And listen, like I said all the time, Harper knows what we are talking about. Might not hear us directly, but he knows. Turner knows. These guys are in their heads as much as it is we're annoyed by it. I'm giving it a little bit more time before I'm hitting the old panic button, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing because all it is just making people feel like their fears have come to life. Fooj, my man, what's going on? What's good, Al? It's better to be lucky than good. Hey, listen, like when a hitter's in a slump and their first hit's a little bloop single or take Harper. I mean, his RBI tonight was off an error. That should have been a routine play. Guy kind of charged a little too hard, backed the ball off his wrist, or banked the ball off his wrist, and kept the play alive and allowed that run to score. And it's not a home run. And I would actually prefer it not to be the home run because look, Schwarber got off the schneid a little bit with his towering home run to right field, and he. What happened next? Everybody's coming up and try to swing for the fences again. I feel like it's just like they can't help themselves, and that's the part. Like this philosophy needs to change. Like why are we feel like we're the only ones who do it? Like, they don't think they can do it? Do they think they don't need to listen to people about it? I would care less if this team doesn't hit a home run for the next 30 games. If they keep winning and they keep hitting small ball, you can keep the home runs. Home runs are fun. They're exciting. Especially when they end a game on a knock like that or something. But I want to see some old school, baseball. I want to see some old school baseball, manufacture runs, gets guys on base, double steals, bloop singles, doubles, hit the gap, whatever term you want to use. That's what I need to see from this team. That's what's going to wake this team up. And that's what happened last year. Remember when they came out strong, then they kind of cooled off after around the 10th game or so like that. And they started kind of going a little lull for a couple of games. And then they kind of started coming out of it, but it was all on small ball with a couple home runs sprinkled in. And that's how it should be, because it will come. The home runs will come. They'll be there. But if you could put the fear of, because if you put the fear of God into a pitcher, that you know that this guy can get on base or hit a home run at any moment in time, that's what the Dodgers do. And I hate always comparing to the Dodgers. I hate the damn Dodgers. But that's what they do. And it works for them. You don't have to always like worry about, well, don't let him hit a home run. Everything else is fine. Just don't let him hit a home run. That's the Phillies. That's what the Diamondbacks put on the Phillies. They pretty much tattooed it across our foreheads since 2023 in the postseason, the NLCS, and it's permanent now. It's not washing off, man. They gotta find it within themselves to make the change, and that's the scary part. Can they make the change? That in itself, is the big difference. Listen, it's April. I mean, it's not even April yet. It's March 31st. It's going to be April tomorrow. The Washington Nationals are like the top team with runs scored in baseball. It doesn't hurt that you put up 13 runs one night here. But I don't even know if the Washington Nationals they're probably going to be out of the playoffs by August. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Unless they just have a really good, they have a good young core. They could grow, but they're not keeping this up. And one guy's batting like 600 or something. Weimer, whatever you say his name. I quick calling him Wiener, the guy in center field. He's like, he had like an 800 coming into the game. I'll look at the box score in a second to give you the exact number, but it's not going to hold, and things will come down to life. But this team can't wait for that. This team just needs to manufacture runs, and manufacture hits more to start with. Top three haven't started hitting still, and that's the big problem. I get it, and I don't care about the home runs. I just want to see them hit. Feel good about a Painter Alfred. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if anything's going to make you, the light shining in through the darkness, the silver lining, or whatever term you want to use, it's got to be Andrew Painter, and the youth and the future of the Phillies make you feel a little better. Player of the game, absolutely Star Wars. I'm shocked Robbie hasn't sacked Crawford yet. He did yesterday. Crawford didn't. Yeah, it didn't start yesterday, right? Wasn't it? Isn't that yesterday? Hello, Joe. What is going on, my friend? Elephant. Harper blows. Oracle. Here we go. The Pump Man is back. Pump Man, where have you been? I have not seen or heard you on any of my shows, on any of the other shows I watch. You've been kind of quiet. I was getting a little nervous. Glad to see you're back. And I see that, I'm glad to see that your phone didn't autocorrect to Hertz blows, but it's good to see that you're back. Hopefully you're healthy. Painter had some filthy stuff tonight. He did, and it wasn't just filthy, it was effortless, which is 6'7" guy. He's a little herky jerky, but he reminds me a little bit of Wheeler the way he pitches. It seems very effortless. Painter can paint. Yeah, I mean, you can work with his name so much. They had the Andrews painters, guys dressed in their overalls with bringing the paintbrushes. That's what I love about this team, or this fan base. Get those two fossils off my team, Harper and JT. Painter, listen, they're struggling. I'm not going to disagree, Pump. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. The only argument I'm going to say it's March 31st. I'm not freaking out just yet. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm not liking what I'm starting. This is one of the reasons I don't like the WBC too much, because guys aren't, grooving with their team as much as, it just seems to slow people down. Painter is different than Abel, as they need him to pan out and become a 1 or 2 of the future. Hey, man, I know. I'm not sitting there saying he's there yet. But he took the right step forward, put the right foot, the foot right in front of him that he needs to get to that point. I was hoping he's a solid 5, maybe a 4 by the end of the season. He keeps pitching like that. He can look like we could have a 1A, a 1B with Christopher Sanchez and Wheeler. A 2 and a 2B with him, with Luzardo and Painter and Nola, wherever he ends up being. Because he really showed us some promise in the offseason, but geez, we'll see what his next outing looks like. My biggest concern is the offense. It should be. It's going to be. Because, how this is. It's feast or famine for this offense, and that's the problem. Until they figure that out, because the problem is they are getting figured out. People know how to handle them in the postseason. They don't give a shit if you make the postseason. Other teams don't care. Oh, the Phillies don't make the postseason. you have to fear the Phillies getting hot at the right time, but you can work around that. What's Harper's excuse? He had all of it. Those valuable ABs in the World Baseball Classic. No, I mean, listen, I just don't like the timing of it. Personally, Pump man. I mean, you can argue with me all you want. Um, I just don't like the timing of it. Like, you're supposed to be gelling with your team, kind of ramping up, and you're doing a little bit more aggressive baseball like you would do in the postseason before you even play a regular season. Get I just don't like it. The timing of it I don't like. Um, Turner is so bad on defense. And do you want to Pump man? I honestly believe a little bit is this whole not elite thing did bother him more than he'll ever admit to, and he's trying to force something to happen. Like, I'm just going to knock in home runs. If he just understood, I don't care if I ever saw another home run from Bryce Harper again. If he just gets the ball in play and is clutch, he was clutch early on in one game when it was the first game of the season where he wasn't hitting the whole game, but he got a timely hit to help get guys on base, bring up those scoring runs. So that was important. That's what we like to see. But, tonight he had the opportunity, got more lucky than good, but I'll take those opportunities. That's where you build off. Turner's so bad on defense. He was actually been pretty good for the most part. I mean, especially over the last year. I don't think he's as bad as you're putting it out to be. Harper is showing dumb Brewski. He's not elite, probably wasn't once an extension, laugh out loud. He's showing him that he's not elite, probably wants. How do you go ask for an extension if you're not playing elite baseball? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand how that thought process works, but okay. Imagine extended Harper till age 45. No. I always came up to the conclusion when that conversation came out that they'll do something for him. Maybe give him like a piece of something, more merchandise money. They'll do something for him. But there's no way you can extend him. Like, really, it's just ridiculous. Andrew Painter's fan groups were all over the ballpark. Great debut. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, it's waiting. We've been waiting for this moment, and then the Tommy John thing set him back. We thought we were going to see this guy early on, like a year ago at least. 2021, like kind of a young up and coming player, a little against the normal grain of the Phillies thought process. I'm not giving these Philly players a pass. Who's giving anybody a pass? Who's giving who a pass and what players? All the players? All the offense? Like, who are we talking about? Because here's my thing is I'm not giving anybody a pass, but I'm also not, burning the house down. Like, see, that's the thing is we all go one extreme to the other. I've been covering baseball for a very long time. Outside the Flames final, in the locker room, I've been there a long time. I've been doing it for years. It's a long season. I know it's cliche to say, but it is a long season. We gotta like just kind of pump the brakes a little bit before we're on March 31st. We're ready to hate on this team completely. Andrew Painter wins his long-awaited MLB debut. Yes, he does. Let's see. Harper keeps his skills off the table until he gets an extension. It's called leverage. You think he's doing what was the guy from Major League Baseball? That he thinks like if he does less, they're going to give him more. Like he's half holding out. Nah, man. Listen, you can dislike Harper. You can be upset that he's not living up to the name, to the contract. I agree with that. You're not going to get an argument there. But this whole like, oh, I'm not going to play that well until you pay me better. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I got to call you out on that one a little bit. Bump Harper and his feelings. Hey, Harper, grow a set and become a man. I don't know anything about his feelings. I'm talking about it's a mental thing. Like, I think getting like not being called elite, not feeling like he has been clutch lately, all the things that Kaepernick that we beat on him about on the show like this, he is very self-aware of. If you're a competitor, a true competitor, you are very, very, very self-aware of your foibles, or whatever you want to call it. And I think he does put pressure on himself, which when somebody puts too much pressure, like when a pitcher tries to paint and tries to get the ball right on the dot where he wants it every time, and he just tries to force it in, that's when things go awry. Well, batters can do the same thing when you step up and you're like, listen, all I need is one home run. That's all I need. One home run, and that's it. I'll be good to go. And if you have that kind of mentality and you keep swinging for those fences, this is what's going to happen. That's what I really need to see him change is his mentality. Stop trying to be home run Harper and just try to be Mr. Baseball Harper. Play baseball, no matter what it is. I don't care if you drop a drag bump or something like that. Whatever it is gets you on base. I will get more excited about that than him hitting a home run. Like, I'll be honest with you. People don't forget, like, I know the average baseball fan is going to want to see home run after home run, but my feelings about this is I think we get more excited about seeing them manufacture runs and just bludgeon a team than just beat the hell off the ball out of the park all the time. Off topic, I don't know why baseball dimensions aren't bigger. It'll be exciting watching outfielders chasing down balls. I mean, listen, baseball is the only sport that I can know of. I'm pretty aware of where where no matter what team, like if you went to any football game in the NFL, what are the dimensions of the field? 100 yards, right? 30 yards wide, 100 yards long, right? And same thing with soccer, same thing with hockey rinks, same thing with basketball courts. They're all the same. I mean, they can be painted different colors, but the dimensions are the same, all that stuff. Baseball's the only one where you go to one field to another where the outfield dimensions are different, like it's a hitter's park or a pitcher's park. It's a very odd thing because I think with baseball being so old as it is, that never changed, and that's kind of like something that's stuck with them. I think Harper might have put too much pressure on himself with the response to the not elite comments. I think he'll get over it eventually and straighten out. Yeah, again, this is kind of what I'm talking about, Elephant. I agree with you. Like, it's not a feelings thing. It's not a check your feelings at the door stuff. He's crying, he's whining, that kind of stuff. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself because he's not getting any younger either. And he knows this. You can be as cocky and as you want, but you know that you're getting older. You know that proverbial clock is ticking, and you know that's what's like that's my thing is I think he's putting it's more of a pressure thing to bash his way out of the situation when I think just hitting his way out of it would suffice and make everybody on this chat happy. I'm not elite. You hurt my feelings, Dave, as I'm elite, but I haven't shown up for the last few years. Again, there was a little back and forth when that whole thing went down. Mike, I'm not gonna disagree with that. But at the same time, it was handled wrongly by both of them. Like, I know we don't care about feelings, but if you're having a problem, like Dombrowski could have handled that conversation a lot easier. But listen, he hasn't been able to play elite baseball as he usually does. We know he can do it. We know he has it in him. But he just hasn't been playing that well as of lately, and plus injuries have been in the way. That could have been a way he can answer it. It's still the same kind of answer, but a more, support your team type thing. And Harper could have just taken the opportunity a few times when this all went down and sat there and goes, listen, if my boss thinks I'm not being elite, then I need to be better. Like, he could have taken the high road. Neither one of them did. And that's my thing. So yeah, they got a little pissy. They kind of, Dombrowski said something, Harper said a couple of things, but I think it got squashed. And now he's just trying to prove him wrong. And instead of just trying to play baseball, he's trying to force something. Square pegs, round holes. That's always been an issue, with any player. It's because of scarcity of space. A lot of ballparks back in the day are hard to work with the land as they had. Period. End of sentence. I agree with you. I think that's what it is. It's just things were different. And I'd rather watch the game and say 500 foot or 500 feet or 450 legit to the right. Period. Left and right. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, that's kind of you're right. It's off topic, but my point is, that's not my. I'm okay with that. Like, it is what it is with that. That's one thing I'm never gonna harp over. All these stadiums are just a little bigger than minor league stadiums. I mean, I remember baseball stadiums and saw real home run hitters: Mike Schmidt, Dale Murphy, Dave Kingman, Reggie Jackson. Yeah. Harper should have taken the Kobe route and said something like, I can always be better and want to be better. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is where he went wrong, and he needs to fix his mentality. That could be where he's a little selfish. I agree with that. Real quick, guys, let's remind you that this is, welcome to the Fighting's Final. I'm Big Al. Phillies win 3-2, kind of get off that losing streak a little bit. They're now 2-3 on the season. And I am on the call tonight. You had Mike yesterday and tomorrow for an early game. By the way, it's all early games. They're saying it on the broadcast. Most games, except for like 2 tomorrow, are all during the day. Even the Braves, which is very odd for them to do. Andrew Painter tonight, which was pretty cool. But also, Martone for the Flyers debuted tonight too as well. And that's against the Capitals. So Mike gets to talk. I get to talk about the Andrew Painter debut. He gets the Martone debut. So you get a little extra sauce tonight. Couple debuts to talk about, guys. And so much more here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. So if you miss anything, don't worry, we got you covered. And then tomorrow is another Fighting Final, like I said, with Matty B, Pittsburgh Sports Desk. And then the final words back on Thursday, as well as the Flyers postgame, Flyers Islanders postgame on Friday. And then, of course, my first Fighting Final / Philly Friday Frenzy episode comes. We always say DB to be determined. It's always based on the game and everything, what's going on. But it'll be probably around between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And then the best of, and then the Phillies Rocky series, as well as the Flyers Bruins postgame on Sunday with the Philly AM Sports with me, with Mike and Matt this Sunday. I will not be on this Sunday, Easter Sunday. Got the family, all that fun stuff, and more. Harper is a showman, but what has he done to keep up that nickname? You're not disagreeing, Kaepernick. And if it's a homemade nickname, I hate people make homemade nicknames. But let's look at the box scores right now. The Phillies scored in the third, the fourth, the fifth inning. And that would be enough because only the sixth and seventh inning would be for the Nationals to hold on to a 3-2. And Duran gets the save with a 3.3 ERA. Painter with the win in his MLB debut. He gets his first strikeout, with 8 of them at least, as well as his first major league win with a 1.69 ERA. But let's look at Turner right now. Turner was 1 for 4 tonight. He's batting a measly 182 with a 4.44 OPS. Schwarber had that bomb in the third, at the bottom of the third, that put the Phillies on the board. But he was 1 for 3 with 1 run scored, the RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. A little better from tonight. Like to keep seeing the improvement, but he's batting a 158 with a 7.47 or 7.47 OPS. Harper was 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI. The error, of course, got him the RBI. He's batting 100. That's right. 0.100. Mike Papernick, I know it's got you got in your call with a 282 on base. It's not even just got to be better. It's got to be way better. Stott was 0 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. He's batting a 250. It's funny. From 5 down, the better batting averages. Garcia had one of his best nights as a Philly so far. He was 2 for 3 with a run, RBI. He had the RBI number 2 on the night in the bottom of the fourth with that home run that just got right over the right field wall. It's good to see him kind of start to come around at his first set of Phillies. Hopefully he can build off that. He's a 278 with an 819 OPS. And our best hitter, which most people wanted to drive, I mean, a lot of people in this chat wanted to drive Brandon Marsh to the airport. Now again, it's a small sample size, but hey, he's the best hitter so far. He was 1 for 3 tonight. He's a 400 batting average with a 1.004, just a little above 1,000 OPS. Crawford was 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored. He had a good night. He's batting a 333. Overall, that bad bunt really was not much left to be desired. But overall, in 30 at bats, they 3 runs scored, 7 hits, 3 RBIs, all earned, a walk, and a strikeout. And then Harper, like I said, reaches on the fielding error, which allows Crawford to score, Turner to move to third, and Schwarber to move to second. But of course, that's where the double play comes in. The bases are juiced, and Alec Bohm just this Bohm in the 4-hole, man, does not make me happy. The other two scores come from the Nationals. Dylan Lyle singles on a line drive right field, and C.J. Abrams scores. And then the bottom of the seventh, James Wood doubles on a sharp ground ball to first base. It was deflected by the pitcher, Tanner Banks, who kind of bounced off his ankle a little bit. Nasim Nunez scores. That makes it 2-3. And that would be all the scoring. Duran would shut it down with a great defensive play at the end by Brandon Marsh, tracking that ball down. I thought that thing was off the wall, and we had a bare minimum a tie game at that point. And I think that would have really taken the sails out of Phillies Nation a little bit there. Alfred's here. Hey, what do you think about I don't get into those things, guys. We don't talk about that on this show or any of our sports shows. We keep that separate. You want to talk separately? We'll talk later. But let's take a trip down the old Broad Street bottom line. All right, everybody, welcome to the Broad Street bottom line. For those who are new, and if you haven't done it so far, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook, especially YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, share buttons, whatever you can do. It helps guys like us do what we do and enjoy what we do and help build the product better. Break off the dial, as I always used to say, and tune in to guys who let you be part of the show, because obviously without picking up a phone call, you are part of tonight's show. So my Broad Street bottom line is we got to see a great debut by Andrew Painter. I mean, there's not much more of a bottom line to have in the situation right now. You got to win, so you're off the losing streak. That's huge for the Phillies. They win tomorrow, they could take the series and be at 500, and things could feel a little differently. But the big difference is the offense needs to be better, especially from those money-making guys, especially from the big contracts in Turner, Harper, now Schwarber, and the newest one from Real Muto, batting a 0.83. And I don't think I mentioned him. I kind of skipped over him because he's so forgetful. He was 0 for 3 tonight with a 0.083 and a 350 OPS. Needs to be better. The most we're getting from is all the guys we're paying, comparatively peanuts to. So those guys need to get off their asses and get their heads out of their asses, which I agree with you. If you guys notice, I'm not disagreeing with you with being upset with Harper, being upset with Turner, being upset with Schwarber, being upset with Remuto. Yeah, and Bohm. I'm telling you, I agree with you. I'm also not ready to freak out yet, but those guys need to be better. They need to have not a team meeting, but top of the order, big money meeting, steak and lobster lunch, they can afford it. Sit down, talk, figure it out. Guys, we need to be smarter at the plate. I need to stop swinging for the fences. That's what needs to be said. We got the young guys coming in, Crawford. We got the other guy coming in, Painter. Guys so far holding their own, and they haven't earned 1% of what we're earning. It's our time. We need to lead by example. That's what I need. I don't need to be negative on them. I don't need to be positive on them. I'm not going to sit there and do a standing ovation. What I'm going to sit there and say, they need to be better. And they need to call themselves out for it. And I brought up a story, I think, when we were doing the season preview right before the season started. And, there was a time when Harper was struggling. Or was it Turner was struggling? No, Harper was struggling. And he said, and Turner went up to him and said, listen, I was looking at video of you hitting like last year, and I'm seeing a difference here. Maybe make some changes. And it did, and it was helpful. That needs to be done. Like you have to be accepted criticism from anybody. I don't care if Andrew Painter's telling Zach Wheeler how to pitch, or maybe you should try holding a ball like this. Or ask, how should he hold the ball? Would he get better? How does he feel about this versus that? Those are the things that need to happen. This team needs to put their egos aside. their paychecks aside and all play like they all make $1 a day. Like that's what needs to happen. Alfred saying Remuto was mistake signing. They should have gone after Bellinger once Bichette signed with the Mets. You needed you. Let me put it this way: he might not be hitting. I get that, and you might move him to 9-hole or 8-hole, whatever it is. But his defense is really good, and how he calls the game is really good. One tops in the game still. Still has some speed. If you can get on the bases, he could be powerful there. My point is, you could not have Painter come in with a backstop and Marchand as your number one guy and Stubbies as your backup. And even if you wanted to got somebody else, somebody who hasn't been here the whole time, like these guys, he was so needed. He knew he had him backed in the corner. You know what I mean? What do you think the wins and losses record for April will be? It's a great question. Let me look at the games. We'll see, man. I mean, they usually do okay in April. May is where they drop off in. Then we have the June, the Schwarber Junes. Maybe the only good positive you can get out of this kind of slow start when the rest of the NL East is coming out, 3-1. Nationals now 3-2. Is that a little bit of humble pie for them? Like that's kind of the only thing I could think of that would be a positive out of it. Add the Harper dynamic for not being the highest paid Phillies player. Bichette would have matched him. I think maybe even Bellinger. Oh no, they would have made more. They would have made more. I mean, he doesn't make a lot. I mean, the Harper deal seems pretty good now. It's just long term. I think baseball is getting away from the 10 to 13 year, 30, 20 to 30, 25 to $30 million a year. You're going to see 3 or 4 with opt outs and all that stuff with guys who's making closer to $40 million because he can make that money, Bichette, and walk away next year. So I think you're going to see that, especially when it all depends on how the CBA and all that and the negotiations and lockout goes. I strongly disagree. If Bichette signed here, I believe the Phillies would have been more likely to let JT walk. They would have had to let JT walk, Alfred. They would have had no choice. You signed Bichette, that's it. You could only make some small, medium-sized deals, and we would have been really hurting in the backstop. It would have been really difficult. And, and Bichette hasn't had the greatest start of the year yet. And then the Bichette's pooping the bed right now, and the pitching's not going great. We're screwed. So you can want Bichette all you want, and I was one of those people clamoring. I actually started, I like to tell people, like, I'm sitting there before even the Bichette conversation was a thing. I said, it was right after Christmas. I said, somebody wants to get me an early Christmas present, put Bo Bichette underneath the tree for me. I'll take it. That is what I wanted, but I also get it. I would rather have JT and no Bichette than Bichette and have JT right now. It would have been another ridiculous contract, and we would have been stuck. You would have Turner, Schwarber, Harper, and Bichette. That's 5 guys right there on very long, very expensive contracts. We'd have zero wriggle. Oh, don't forget Aaron Nola. Zach Wheeler's getting the end to him. He has 2 more years this year, next year, technically, of this. But you got Aaron Nola. You would have never been able to sign Jesus Luzardo. It was probably for the best, no Bichette. Like, we have to let some of these young guys cook. We have to let some of the youth come up and allow it to happen. We weren't a Bo Bichette away from winning the World Series in my eyes. Not right now, at least. On Fridays, if you have time, can you open the phone lines? That is the plan. So for those who don't know, I do the Friday show. The Friday show is going to be a little fluid based on the Phillies game if it's later. This is an earlier game, I believe. We'll look at that in a moment. It's an earlier game, but I normally do my show at 9. If it's an early game, I might do it at 8. It started an hour early. Or if it's a Phillies game that goes past 9, it's gonna end after the game. I'm gonna do a kind of an abridged final into a Philly Friday frenzy. So yes, happy birthday, Michael Jordan. Like Jordan who? But happy birthday, Jordan. And also, I didn't get into it real quick. I mentioned Painter. We talked about Banks went 1 for 2/3 inning, 3 hits, 1 run scored. It was earned, and 2 strikeouts. Keller went 1 inning and only let the walk. Durant came in and let up 1 hit in 1 inning and 2 strikeouts to end the game. In 9 innings pitched, 8 hits were allowed, 2 runs earned, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, 8 from Andrew Painter in his debut. The other two, Banks and Duran. No home runs, no long balls. Kept the ball in the field, kept the ball in the park, which is always important. I have the same birthday as Jordan, February 17th, different year. Gotcha. Thank you. Eagles, Jordan Mailata. Is it his birthday? Is it Jordan Mailata's birthday? I did not know that. Happy birthday, Jordan Mailata. Guys, let's now that we took a ride down the Broad Street bottom line, let's take a trip around the bases. Flyers are about to lose. I haven't really had a chance to check in on it yet. It sucks because you know what? Put on a nice effort at the end if that's true. But for those who are new to the show, again, the trip around the bases is literally looking at all the scores tonight in the MLB, and then we'll look at the standings real quick and get get a feel for what's going on in baseball. We talk about like the wild card standings and more after the second half of the year, but we'll touch on them if it gets like we're just jumping ahead or falling really far behind. But right now, still going on. Colorado is in Toronto, down 5-1 at the bottom of the eighth. Chicago Cubs are losing to the Angels 2-0 at the bottom of the seventh. Milwaukee is winning 5-2 at the bottom of the seventh over Tampa Bay. The Mets are down 3-0 to the St. Louis Cardinals, which is huge because we need these guys to start losing some here. Hopefully that holds up. Houston's up 6-1 over the Boston Red Sox. Arizona right now is the bottom of the first with knotted up against Detroit. And San Diego is losing 1-0 to San Fran in San Diego, top of the first. Seattle and Yankees are knotted up at 0 right now. Cleveland and Dodgers are warming up in LA. And of course, final on the day, we have Texas over Baltimore 8-5. That was in Baltimore. Pittsburgh was 8-3 over Cincinnati. And might I remind you guys, welcome to early baseball. Remember, don't forget the Pirates will look good for the first couple weeks. It's going to happen in some way. They'll have some wins or something to make them people get excited about, but it won't hold up. Of course, the Phillies win 3-2 over the Nationals. The Miami Marlins, they're 4-1 now in the season. They beat the White Sox 9-2 tonight. And as Mike's, that's kind of Mike's like quiet team to keep an eye on them, the A's. And also final for the night, Atlanta loses 5-2 to the Athletics. So that's another one of Mike's sleeper teams. That will be huge. All pretty good for the most part outside of Miami. We'll see if that continues to hold up. Your standings on the night, let's just kind of pull it right up. Miami is at a beautiful 800 at 4-1. The Mets, the Braves, and the Mets and Braves are tied at 3-1 at 750. The Nationals are at 3-2, and of course the Phillies are under 500 at 2-3. But we could flip this to both being 500 with Pub in the fourth place with a win tomorrow, and 2 wins in a row. Christopher Sanchez on the mound makes me feel a little better about it. Like I said, him being on the mound is huge. Let's see. And I think that's it. Let's go into the next couple games. So, like I said, Friday's game, it's a Rockies game, but it's a very odd game. It's a 4:10 start. So it's a 1:00 Colorado start on a Friday. That's so weird. I remember when I was doing the schedule with Matty B. Well, we were going over the schedule with Matty B, and I'm like, why are we playing the Rockies in Colorado on a Friday at 4:10 p.m.? I was expecting this to be a late show. I was kind of planning on doing it. And I might still do this for a West Coast game. I haven't decided yet. I might do a watch along instead of a Fighting's final. Kind of a Fighting's final watch along. We'll watch along together. And then I'll just kind of close up the show at the end with a few minutes just to talk about, what happened in the game. But as we're going along, I haven't decided yet. Something me and Matty kind of just tossed around a little bit. It all depends on how things fall out. But ultimately, it's kind of weird, just a 4:10 start. So a 1:00 start in Colorado on a Friday. Dumb. That's what Colorado's dumb. Sorry. But on that, guys, that is it. As I mentioned, Matty B is on the call for tomorrow's game. Hopefully they'll win the series, get the first series win. an Andrew Painter's debut win in the series. It can make what looked like a really tough start to a series, and if you can win tomorrow, it can be the difference maker in everything. I believe that's the Rockies' home opener. I get it, but a 1:00 start, I guess. I don't know, on a Friday, maybe on a Thursday, it's a businessman, or even a Wednesday, a businessman special. But a Friday, no. Thanks, Elephant. Always hard to. Have a great night, Alfred. Alfred's. I love that name, by the way. Alfred. I'm Al. I'm Big Al. My full name is Alan. I was supposed to be Albert, but my friends for years, kind of joking around, have always called me Alfred. So that's why I like the name a little bit. Part and partial to it, guys. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe, like, all that great stuff. And stay tuned. The Flyers post game will probably be coming at you very shortly. Let me check in on that score right now. It's 6-4 Caps, and it's the end of regulation. So they just ended. So I'm going to get off the show now. Matt, they are who's on this one? I said Mike, right? Mike's coming in, so I don't want to hold up any longer, guys. I appreciate the time. I'll see you all next time.